Now after you have removed the pieces that you don't really need to paint, it's time to stick these all down so we can go ahead and paint all of the timbers. Now this is probably going to take the most time of anything. So have all your pieces sorted, and we've got a lot of pieces to stick down. What I'm going to do is, once again, I'm just going to lightly sand the back, and then I'm going to very gently press it down in the middle. Don't press so hard that you'll break the piece, but you want to sand them on the bottom in case there's a little bit of a ridge. Otherwise they won't stick down, because if they don't stick down, dry brushing these are going to be a real pain later on. So I'm just going to sand these, and I'm just going to start sticking these pieces down, and we're probably going to be 2 full chunks of cardboard of these timbers. Just keep in mind that once we're done with this, most of the hard painting will be done for the whole project. Okay, I've got the beams and windows taped down to a piece of cardboard, and this is only like about 1/3 of them. There's actually probably about 3 of them. Just disregard the odd colored ones. Those are beams I had from other projects that I decided I'd go ahead and use up as well. So we got flat black spray paint. What we're going to do is you want to cover the front of it well, and you also want to cover the sides as well. So it's not like the brick panel pieces where it's just the face. You actually need to cover all the faces of it. So let's go ahead and spray paint this. And doing these in a group is really a lot faster than trying to do this individually on a house. So I'm going to hit it from one side like this, and then I'm going to turn this thing around, and you notice that the back side we don't have, you see white spots there. And I've got the rubber glove on my left hand so I don't get black paint all over me. So I'm going to do this until everything has got a good coat of black spray paint on it. Okay, now it's time to paint all the individual planks and windows. You're probably going to have 3 or 4 of these cardboard sheets with planks double stuck to them. There's a lot of planks here, but I promise you, painting them this way is a lot quicker than trying to paint them after they're stuck on the house. We'll do these en masse, and within 20-30 minutes, all of the planks for the whole house are going to be finished, ready to glue on to give you a finished house. Now, I've already demonstrated this before on the half timber one, so this is just kind of a quick review is all. Get yourself a white soft brush, and we're going to dry brush on here. And what's going to happen, this is the medium earth tone from the earth tone colors. This is kind of a pumpkin pie color. It's actually very similar to the color of cardboard, now that I've got it sitting on the cardboard there. What we're going to do is we're just going to dip it in the paint, and we are going to wipe all of the excess paint out of the brush. And I'm going to dip it back in the paint again, and I'm going to paint all the excess out of the brush. And we want very little to go on the planks. In other words, these planks need to be very dark. They need to be very dark. So don't, if your planks end up the same color as what's on the paper towel, you got too much paint on them. We want to just put such a thin coat that the black transmutes through the brown to give you kind of a grayish, darkish brown color. So I think I've got pretty much all of that out. I'm doing it on the paper towel. I'm not really seeing anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to very lightly go back and forth across here. And when you go back and forth across here, you really shouldn't see anything on the planks. If you don't see anything on the planks, then you probably got the right amount of paint. Now I'm slowly starting to see it pick up here. I tell you what, I'm going to zoom in, and then we'll see if I can kind of show you what it's doing here on the planks. Let's see, we got that zoomed in pretty good. And you can see that some of those planks are starting to show up, but they're not starting to show up brown yet, okay? So what I'm going to do is just go back and forth over these planks, just a little bit, and you'll see that these planks are now kind of starting to show up a little bit. You see that? And now it looks actually a little brighter in the camera than it does actually from what I'm doing here. So what I'm going to do at this point, I think I'm feeling fairly safe that there's not too much paint in this brush. So I am going to go ahead and start pushing a little bit, and I am going to try just putting a little more paint on these planks right here. And you know what? Right about there is done. This group of planks, that's finished. That is pretty much finished. And let's see if I can get it up a little bit closer into the light here. Yeah, boy, by looking at the camera and what I'm seeing here, these are actually darker than what they appear on the camera. These look like they, on the camera look like they're really bright, but they're not. They're not. They're really not that bright. Now, when you get to the decorative windows, wait until your paint is almost out of, wait until your brush is almost out of paint. Where you're painting and nothing much is happening, that's when you do your windows, because these are very deep and you're going to have to push hard. So you want to be able to push hard, get it down into the cracks without getting a lot of paint on your windows. So wait until your brush is almost completely empty of paint, then kind of push a little harder and get those windows. And those windows really are starting to pop out pretty nice like that. Okay, now that I've got one of these boards done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up here, and I'm going to use it as a guide for my next ones. So the next ones that I paint right here, I want to be sure that they're kind of close to matching what I've already got up here. And if there is some variety, it's okay, because wood beams are different colors. Now, these planks will dry pretty much immediately. Once they're all painted, what we're going to do is we're going to peel them off and we're going to sort them. Peeling them off really isn't too bad. You can grab an edge of the tape like this, and what we're going to do is we're just going to lift these off, kind of like this. There we go. Okay, so what I've got is I've got a strip of tape, and I've got all these planks on them. These are all a couple different lengths. I think I've got the 2.5-inch planks on this end. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to peel them off, and then I'm going to set them in a pile. Since I sort of sorted them out while sticking them down, they're pretty easy to sort out after they're painted.